him.
Oh, you do? Where? Good. Oh, let me get him on this place. How far? Which tree? This one or the second one?
He's like on that one up there.
So we made it to this spot in Florida, and it's hot. I'm not gonna lie, it's not comfortable. But we're in some shade. We set up a pretty good area. I don't even know what more to say other than that. It's gonna be a couple warm days, so we're probably gonna go around scouting later on and checking some stuff out, seeing what's around, and just kind of go from there.
The scrub is kind of dense. There's a lot of different types of vegetation, but it's all low level. It's to me, it's not like a big enough forest to kind of provide shade and keep things cool. Like, this area is just hot. I don't know how many things would be out here. I mean, obviously there would be things. There's a river nearby. So I think I've observed some alligators splashing in the water and a lot of fish. But right here, right in this spot, it's not mature forest or anything like that, so it's just hot. It's just like shrubs that that peak at about 20 feet, trees that get about that high, and it's just like the heat of the sun just comes down and hits it.
So a lot of the places we went to, Florida, Iowa, California, Washington, Idaho, Oregon, Georgia, I would have to say Florida is the worst to research Bigfoot in, because it's just hot and humid. Mosquitoes are horrible. I don't think if I had like my pick to go anywhere, it would not be Florida. Florida would probably be at the bottom of the list.
Florida is definitely a challenge. Yeah, of the heat, it is one of the hottest places we've been in North America. Of the insects and dangerous animals, like with the alligators and the venomous reptiles, definitely presents challenge. You can argue that mountain lions and bears are worse in the Pacific Northwest, but they have Florida panthers and black bear here as well. So I think a lot of the same dangers happen at different times of the year. If you're not dealing with overwhelming mosquitoes, then you're dealing with hurricane season. There's a lot of difficulty with the roads because of sand, and if you don't have the right vehicle, you're just not getting to where you want to go. There's a whole different culture of survival out here. People with their swamp buggies and fan boats, and the way they navigate around here is different. But people have lived here for the longest of time, and I think it's a challenge if you're not from here, or if you haven't stayed outside the comfort of your home out in the wild out here. You definitely have to learn how to keep the bugs away, how to get through the hottest of summer days. So I think that there's a larger margin for error that we have to be aware of. I don't know. You can't deny that there are a lot of sightings that come from Florida. But Florida is a tourist state, and I do wonder if a cultural phenomenon has sprout before a natural phenomenon, and that is the basis of the majority of skunk ape reports.
So we're packing up camp right now. We're gonna go to another spot, but tonight we're gonna just kind of, well, after we get packed up, we're gonna drive around and check out some spots and potentially hit one of those spots up tonight. But we're not gonna camp here. We're gonna move to another campground and just kind of go from there. So, I mean, what do you think about this idea, Ron?
Yeah, I think my as an outsider from Florida, it's been 10 years since I've done any type of investigation here, and that was like in my adolescency of Bigfoot. Like, so it's all about, for me, it's reevaluating the landscape and looking for habitat potential, and just getting out in a different part that I haven't been in, assessing it, and then kind of increasing my overall understanding of the potential skunk ape habitat.
Florida is no doubt a harsh environment to research in, with its hot, humid days, mosquitoes, venomous snakes, and alligators. This time, Tate and Ron meet up in South Florida to investigate the phenomenon known as the skunk ape, in hopes of finding evidence of the creature for themselves.
But since this area is protected, I thought this would be a good area to maybe walk through at night. And maybe get something to happen. But that's just one area of a couple areas I thought would be good.
Yeah.
It is hard to get to from this direction, for sure.
One thing I'm thinking too is a walk would be good, but then a follow-up bike ride. Scanning with thermal. Covering a little bit more ground in short time. So like we could do a more thorough kind of slow approach, but then double back and then beeline it down the road a little bit further and then come back. And
you could have a blind set up over here too.
Yeah.
You do the road walk, then you have a blind set up, and then while somebody takes the bike.
Yeah, because if you did a little bit of a walking, caught something's attention, or maybe didn't, but then went a little bit further on the bike and caught something's attention, and you
brought it back
and brought it back into camp, yeah, then the blind setup would be
ideal.
Ready to go. Yeah.
We've been finding all kinds of animal signs, mainly just kind of bones from animals that have been eaten or died naturally. And so we like that because there's predators in the area, which means Bigfoot, Sasquatch could be here too. And we also found some water, which is another bonus, so we're happy about that.
There's so much teeming in these ponds. Just minnows and frogs and all kinds of things. That water is dense with like living creatures. I'm wondering what all's here.
After scouting out a potential area for their night investigation, Tate and Ron travel to another spot to see if they might have better chances in getting activity versus other locations explored thus far.
So we're on this other road here that we're checking out. I think we might hike it later tonight. There's a spot we were looking at earlier today. That's on the table. This place right here, this road behind me, this is also on the table. So we're gonna be checking this spot out possibly. We're pretty close to where we're gonna be camping. We're gonna go set up and figure it out from there.
I like this. It's lush. It's lush, and I mean we just found like a drainage area that had tons of baby bluegill and catfish just stranded in the pool. That seems to be a reoccurring thing. As fish get trapped. Fish are so common in the Everglades. They reproduce. There's so many of them, to where there's like thousands of fish can get caught in puddles. It's not even detrimental to the population.
Yeah.
It's just there's so much water, and they just fill the space. Every gallon of water has got life teeming in it here. But this is good for us too, and I'm seeing a lot of moisture locked in here. which means it's cooler temperatures. Because if all this stuff wasn't lush, if this was all dry, arid type of plants, then it'd be like it'd be too hot here. Essentially, like if this was scrub, then that would be a sign that all the heat is causing the moisture to evaporate. So we have different types of growth, and it's just like I feel like this is retaining more moisture.
With a new spot in mind for tonight's investigation, Tate and Ron get settled in at their new camp as they prepare for darkness to approach.
So we made it to the spot where we're going to camp for the next couple of nights. What do you think, Ron?
It's lush, it's grown. I mean, it's worth trying even some wood knocks here. I think the name of this camp area does pop up on a little bit of a sightings history.
I've been in here before, and I've seen a couple bears several times. So there's definitely bears out here. I don't know why there would not be any Sasquatches here. Makes a lot of sense to me. So yeah, should be good. But we're gonna get camp set up and hang out. Well, RPG met up with us. We're headed to a road we were looking at earlier today. Actually later this evening. RPG's gonna stay back at camp. I think he's gonna get his son to sleep, and then he's gonna stay up and camp a little bit. And Ron and I are gonna go head up this road a little bit. We were seeing it, you were liking it. It has potential. So I'm feeling optimistic about it. How are you feeling?
Yeah, it's late.
It's late, yeah.
So if we're trying, I know we've kind of missed the opportunity to recreate your last experience in terms of like the time. You know, like you said, it was earlier in the evening when you guys had the wood knock.
It was. I mean, I don't mind going later though either. I think later is better.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that's you never know. So, but yeah, that's the only thing I noticed. But I like the spot. I wonder if we'll see some gators glowing eyes in the dark or something. You know,
who knows? Maybe. But
it could be anything out there.
I hope it's a skunk ape. I hope it's a Bigfoot. So, fingers crossed. We're gonna make our way there right now and let's see what we get. So Ron and I made it to the spot where we're gonna start walking down the trail. Turn my light on. Well, that's brilliant. So we're gonna see if we get anything. This is the area where I had knocks one time, so I'm feeling pretty optimistic about it. We'll see if we get anything. So should be interesting. Did you hear that? Yeah. What'd you hear? Like a big, like a, yeah, like a thud in the ground. Yeah. Like one thud. So we just started. We haven't even started walking yet, and we heard like a in the ground. I don't know if my camera or your audio picked it up. We weren't even talking. We were kind of quiet. Yeah. So I think the audio might have picked it up. Man, I hope so. So, I mean, the best thing to do right now is just to move forward and see if we get anything. Yeah. I guess. We'll see what happens. I'm recording video right now. Ron's recording audio, so should be interesting. this bad. I don't know if I can do a whole freaking hour. That freaked me the hell out. Barred owl. We both were like, these little turds. I mean, that's just another barred owl. Did you want to go up a little bit more, or do you want to just head back? Yeah, dude, I cannot take it. They're biting my freaking hand. I'm just. So Ron and I are heading back to the car because I don't. Ron, are they biting you?
Not as much, but there's still a few.
Dude, because like they're biting my palm of my hand, my fingers, through my sleeves, my back, my ears. I mean, every part of me they are biting. Like, I'm not gonna lie, it's miserable. So, freaking Florida, dude. Freaking mosquitoes in general. And that's anywhere with mosquitoes. I don't care where I'm at. If there's mosquitoes, they get me. Freaking hate them. Hate them so much. Don't like those things. We got that on camera.
In the audio.
What was that, Ron?
I think it's one of them Floridian Everglade bullfrogs.
I thought it was one of them Floridian fart devils.
It's a fart from an ass.
Well, we made it back to the car because I'm getting bitten by mosquitoes. Dude, look at that.
I feel like they attacked my legs.
Freaking tard was on my hand. But I'm getting bit by mosquitoes. It's not even funny. So we're back at the car. I did not put mosquito spray on. We're gonna be way better prepared for tomorrow and our last night. And just really hit it. So we'll check in the morning.
With an uneventful night, Tate and Ron are hoping tomorrow's night investigation will yield something more fruitful.
So yeah, we had a kind of an interesting outing when we got out to the spot that we wanted to walk along. There were lots of animals out. It seems to be like a real active area. I remember hearing some barred owls, lots of barred owls, and we saw a lot of red eye shine of gators out in the nearby river. Unfortunately, the mosquitoes were kind of out in full force, and we had just about all that we could take, even after putting some bug spray on us. They just seemed that much more relentless. So after about 30-35 minutes of out there running audio, we decided to kind of backpedal and come back to camp. And it seems like we're going to focus more on this area because of some of the things that have happened in and near the campsite. And I've been doing some bicycle surveys of the area. Tate, you've been running around there as well, and we've seen some sign of wildlife more in the vicinity of the campground that we're staying at. So we know that there are deer. I've seen some raccoon tracks, seen what I'm almost certain are Florida panther tracks. So if the animals are gravitating around here, then why wouldn't we do some research? And if we're close to our campsite, after we do our outing, if we retreat like last night, trying to get away from the mosquitoes and other challenges that present themselves, then there's a better chance that whatever we encounter, or if it observes us in privacy, then it might come close. And our research isn't over until the following day when we're rolling out and leaving this spot. So the idea of maybe going out there and trying to turn up what we can with a chance of it following us back to camp
is a good strategy. I think worth trying to pull off. And now joining Tate and Ron for the investigation is Bigfoot researcher RPG and his son River. This is River's first time squatching, and RPG's first time researching this specific part of Florida.
You know what's really awesome is coming here. I've only seen like this area through David Shealy's video, and the look where it's almost like savanna with tall grass with pockets of different types of tree areas. It's pretty rad. Like, and honestly, I thought, you just go out there, run, you fake. No, like that's snakes and gators and real wet. So the habitat, in my opinion, when you're out here, I mean, Florida has what, like 14.3 million wild acres to run in, and I feel like we've driven to the middle of it. Here in Big Cypress, you can just take go roads, and they just, I mean, literally, how long do we drive down that road? Over a half hour? No, this area in terms of habitat, now that I'm standing in it, yeah, Big Cypress is unique habitat. There's a lot of open areas where they could be spotted, but you do it at night, you're not going to be spotted. And if who's going to chase you? This is like Jurassic Park. You know, that's kind of what it feels like. Tate had the idea to set up a dummy camp to see if we could, get some prints or maybe catch something on a recorder with the tent. Well, then I threw in, I was like, you ever heard of Bigfoot Dave? And he's like, Bigfoot Dave? I'm like, Bigfoot Dave has a technique where he takes a sound machine, like thunder noise, rain noise, whatever, and he just puts it in his tent. And let's just say one time he had it going in his tent and he woke up in the middle of the night to a giant catcher's mitt hand grabbing him by the head and lifting him up as if the skunk ape was looking for where the sound was coming from. What is this magic? And then very gently put him back down, and then he just laid there frozen, like, what do you do, right? What do you do? And he could feel the hand against his body. Wow, right? And then the next morning they got up and the camp had been messed with, things were missing, so a true skunk ape experience. So if we can mimic that here, dummy camp plus that recorder setup, who knows? Maybe we'll get something. I mean, this area is where Shealy got his stuff, where the BFRO has done expeditions. I mean, this place is squatchy.
Ooh. Nice.
If I was a skunk ape and it was a clear night, quiet, I'd go, what the hell is that? Sound spa.
I think it's going to be nice. It's going to be pretty great, because I think the idea was, I kind of talked about a technique I heard which brought this idea.
Yeah.
Was, I can't remember who it was or who was saying something about it, but somebody was sleeping with a fan, like a camping fan in their tent, and something came up and messed with them. And I brought up that idea that you were talking about, like Bigfoot Dave.
Which is, well, that's just because that's a great story. Imagine sleeping and you wake up to being lifted by a squatch and then placed back down gently.
You're like, what?
Oh, dude. And he was sleeping in one of those little one-man triangle tents, the one where nature's right there, a millimeter of fabric, and then, it gets you.
I think it's a good technique. I don't know if we'll get anything. 99% of the time you get nothing, but it's always worth trying everything we can do.
Well, it's also about, okay, so if there are a few around, we gotta bring them in, right? So, because a random tent with this, you put this in the tent, it has to be around. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna throw a little bit of a light show, party rave, to bring them in. Which, you wanna know the irony on that? When we went and filmed pickups for Spike TV for Monster Brothers, my brother and my show, we had Bobo and Yammers on this extended pilot for them, and what did they recommend? He's like, RPG, when you're in the woods, you gotta do something interesting. These things, they've seen it all, but you go out there and you put on a party, you bring out chicks, they're gonna want to know what's happening. And so we got a party.
Yep.
We got a party, and we got a sound spa. So anyway, I think you use that as the lighthouse to draw them in, and then you have an active experiment which no one's around, so they'll be safer. Hopefully they get close, and we just see a handprint or something.
Oh, it's going to be a great night. We got some ideas we're going to try. Kind of going for broke, I guess. So I guess we're just gonna get to it. So we're on our way to set up this dummy camp. RPG, as he said earlier, he's got a sound box or whatever. I forget the name.
Sound spa.
Sound spa. So we're gonna go set up this tent and put a sound spa in there and have an audio recorder going to see what we get. So it'll be a good time. And then later tonight we're gonna hit it pretty hard with a laser show and walk the road and do some knocks and what have you, and just see what comes of it, I guess.
Yeah, we've been kind of the quiet campers the last couple of nights, and now it's time to change things up and let them know that we're here. Hopefully they're within earshot and be curious as to what we're up to.
We're not afraid to party while doing it.
We've given a disclaimer to a nearby camper that we're going to be a bit rowdy, so.
And he said he was cool with it, so.
All right. So.
We did our due diligence to make sure everybody is on the same page tonight, so that's all we can do, right?
If anyone's wondering, it is hot and buggy.
Yep.
Welcome to Florida.
So we made it to the campground that we're gonna set up this dummy camp. We're gonna go ahead and get that all prepped and leave it for tonight, and then just kind of go from here back to our camp where we're gonna do the laser light show and all that. So it'll be a good time, so we're gonna get at it.
Go in the tent. I need you to turn this go in, put it in, turn it all the way on, and then come back out, bud. Go in.
It's kind of sandy.
Yeah, there's a little bit of sand in that tent.
Turn it and turn the knob all the way.
All the way, is that the loudest it'll go?
Yeah.
Okay,
all right.
Good,
So
come on out.
come on out.
Okay, zip it back down, bud.
Why did we put that there?
Here.
Why did we put that there?
We put that because curiosity is a trait of intelligence, and skunk apes and Bigfoots are very smart, and they're going to want to know why there's a rainstorm inside this tent in the middle of nowhere.
And they'll come check it out.
That's what we're hoping. I think we are super remote in crazy squatchy habitat, and we've set up this awesome tent that we know works in Florida with a sound spa. So yeah, it's just a matter of getting lucky that there's one in the area, and we gather its attention with our rave, and then it checks out the remainder of the area, and it's like, what is this? And booyah, we got something on audio.
After the team had successfully set up the dummy camp, they get ready to potentially have their own possible sighting as the night investigation in the Florida Everglades commences once more.
Okay, so we got the laser projector set up. We got the music boombox ready. We're gonna do some laser shows before we go out in the field, but as before in another episode, I said I'm not gonna record it because the music we're playing, I don't want to get copyright. So yeah, do not get a copyright because that's not fun. So we're not gonna show the video, but just take our word for it. It's really cool, right? Right, RPG, it's gonna be cool.
Well, you know, yeah, pretty cool.
So we did the laser show. We're about to go walk on the road later, or right now actually, and hopefully something comes into camp. We have the dummy camp set up.
Yeah. We played pickle roulette.
That was my teeth hurt actually.
Sour punch straws. They got they're all green. There's a watermelon, an apple, a lemon lime, and then pickles. And the goal is to not get the pickle. This is serious research we do here.
Yeah, and we actually ate jalapeno, we ate habanero to see who's the first one to have really bad tummy issues tonight.
I got 2 pickles.
I got 2 pickles.
I got 1 pickle and 1 licorice.
How many did you get, Ron? 1 pickle?
I don't remember.
He put them all in his mouth at the same time.
Yeah.
He's an eager beaver.
That's how I eat all my mixed fruit medleys with pickles on them.
Fruit medleys. Well, let's get cracking on this road and do some squatching.
Oh man, sometimes I'll be thinking of like the Bayaka ape, just like hanging out in the shadows there. That's only two poses I've seen it in. So.
Okay, so we made it to the area where we're going to start squatching. We're going to work our way back to the car. This is a good area, kind of open. There's a field over here, which Ron is kind of freaked out about.
Yeah, something about ligers. What? No?
So Ron's like, he's kind of wussing out on us, right?
Am I? Is that what's going on?
He's being vulnerable and opening up and honest about his fear of open spaces.
Yeah. It doesn't mean I'm incapable of facing them.
So basically, most normal people are afraid of closed and tight spaces. Ron's afraid of big, open, wide spaces.
Did you say clothes?
Closed.
He's afraid of clothes. That's what I heard, folks. What do you think? In the comments below.
I don't know. Is that a good tree?
Here, in a second, we're going to come over to here where we can see into the open field, and you're going to get a chance to look across it with these binoculars. I'll put you up on my shoulders, okay? We're going to stare at Ron's fears. Have you ever seen a newborn puppy? They are horrifying. Have you ever held a baby kitten? The claws on those things.
Have you ever seen a dandelion? They are horrid.
It's a color of yellow that disgusts me. Oh, he's right there. Where are you, buddy? Come on, let me find you. Please, God, let me find you. Jesus, I know I don't talk to you anymore. And I got a weird fetish with Larry.
That owl is like really close.
Yeah. You see him there?
I see him.
Oh, you do?
Where?
Good. Let me get him on this pivot. Which tree? This one or the second one?
He's like on that one up there. So you see that if you look,
So that second tree.
yes,
Yep. And
that first skinny branch there that goes over the road.
okay.
He's up that.
Oh, I got him. You're right. I'm pretty sure that's him. Oh, there he is, and I see his eyes and everything.
Wait, did you hear something, RPG?
Yeah, I thought it was a dog. It went.
Huh.
You didn't? I mean,
I didn't hear it.
I'm actively listening. It's a new thing for me, and wow, it's scary out here, but guys, turn your senses off.
Oh, a bat?
Oh yeah, they're having a meeting. Just one of that. All right, you want to do a
Tandem whoop, I guess.
so 1, 2, 3, and whoop, or on 3 or after 3 is spoken.
1, 2, 3, whoop.
I got you.
1, 2, 3. That's nice.
Yeah.
Here, I'll go for a scream. Sad, Ron. You're in the camera's way here.
He was giving him the booty that they always.
The booty.
All right, get ready here. Look. Turn it on. Dang, man. Come on. sightings happen on the
The
road.
way we go that
He's okay. He likes, sometimes people walk ahead, sometimes people walk behind. It's okay.
I walk ahead backwards.
Look at him. But he's got himself a nice hand weapon there. I wouldn't mess with Tate right now.
I'm not really skilled with it.
Actually, maybe I'll... If I hit a pitch and we all harmonize and we hold it, because that whoop sounded, there was that cathedral feeling to it, you know. Not that I think any of that's necessary, but
You're talking about like Ron's audio?
yeah, I'm talking how it's the only way. How do we mimic that? And we really can't unless we had a truly beautiful voice. But we could sync our harmonies to create a more powerful harmony.
I like it.
I want my fast cars.
So how are we doing this? What's the...
I'm going to come in with a and just try to sustain the same pitch, and then you guys try to match it and create a deeper harmony or a more rich sound.
Okay.
Okay, hold on there. You could feel us all link in for a sec. It felt beautiful for a sec. What?
I didn't do it.
It's okay.
So cool.
That was cool. That's the first time I ever done that with it. That was kind of neat. See, I think that highway is good for them, because that sound masks any movement.
Yeah, it's like kind of mask their sound.
I'd be, yeah, I'd be using that to move.
Oh yeah. So we did some calls, we did some knocks. Now we're just kind of walking back quietly. We're too close to camp to really like do any other things because we don't want to like wake other people up, but or freak them out. But we walked a few hundred yards, and it's just kind of dead. But we keep going, we keep pressing on, we keep coming out in the field, and 99% of the time you get nothing, but it's that 1% that keeps you coming back out here, and that's kind of why I enjoy it. That's why we're out here sweating really bad, sweating our hats off. So it's just par for the course in Bigfoot.
Yet another uneventful night investigation for the team. And as for the dummy camp, the tent was left untouched. They gathered everything before leaving the location. But Tate and Ron don't get their hopes down. And as RPG and his Sun River head back home, Tate and Ron decide to hit up the last location for their expedition to Florida, in hopes of finally getting some sort of action in the Florida Everglades.
So, last night was uneventful. I mean, it was fun. We had a good time walking the road with RPG and his Sun River. We kind of said last night was our final night, but we kind of decided last minute, hey, we're going to do Loop Road.
Yeah.
And
seems like a good decision too after going to the Skunk Cave Research headquarters and hearing that this is where, you know, a lot
recent
of people...
stuff happened within the past week.
Yeah.
So we're going to hit up Loop Road tonight, and we're going to drive around, scout it out, see what areas look good to us, and then we're going to hit those areas pretty hard. So. So Ron and I got to the spot where we're going to walk the road, but what I'm seeing, man, it's pretty dark even with the light. So what we're doing now is I turned all the lights off in the car. The car is running for the AC factor, but even with that, it's still, we're gonna wait till 10 o'clock. It's 9:46, so that gives it like about 15 minutes for our disturbance to kind of settle down. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna get out and then walk the road. That's our plan, so we're gonna be hitting it here in a few minutes. So we're just gonna walk back this road here. So we're kind of walking this road. Turn that straight. That should be a good time. We'll see what happens. See what happens. Just one single knock.
Do you want me to start?
Yeah, go for it.
This one.
Let's walk to the car, I guess. We're back at the car. Ron, we didn't really get anything tonight, unfortunately. But you know what? It's a big forest in the not big cypress, right?
Yeah,
big cypress. Yeah. But it's a big forest out here, so they could be anywhere at any given moment. It's just one of those things that we came out here and we tried. We did what we could. We're bitten up. It's not fun. We're itchy. Ron, any last remarks?
Skunk ape, I don't know how you do it.
Sadly, Tate and Ron didn't get any Bigfoot action on their last night in the Florida Everglades, but that doesn't mean there aren't Sasquatch in this part of Florida. This land is a vast wetland and mostly impenetrable, making fruitful research nearly impossible. Like a moving needle in a vast haystack, Bigfoot could roam anywhere, unburdened by a lack of food or water. Limitless cover and bountiful resources keep the Florida skunk ape both alive and hidden deep within the giant Florida swamp. But perhaps with luck, and sooner than anyone might expect, evidence of the skunk ape will come forth, and the search for SABE will continue anew.